Today I'm here to share with you luxury items that I will never buy again. Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My channel is all about luxury living on a budget, from the high-end luxury handbags to the everyday luxuries of life. So if that sounds interesting to you, please make sure you subscribe, click the bell notification icon to be notified when I post new videos, and be sure to like the videos that you enjoy. Today I'm going to tell you about 7 luxury items, and these all happen to be from Louis Vuitton, that I will never buy again. These are all items that I have purchased in the past. I've had them in my collection and I have since sold them. So I'm going to tell you what they are and why they did not work for me. And I'm hoping that this will give you some insight in case you are interested in any of these items or something similar, and it will help you decide whether they might work for you or not. Okay, I'm going to start small here. Item number 1, and these are all items that I purchased pre-loved. This is a Preload Strap from Louis Vuitton. It was from a Pallas bag. It was the monogram canvas. It was adjustable. I purchased it because I loved the look of the straps on the pochette Matisse with the little gold rivets, isn't the right word, but the hole where the buckle thing goes in, it has little gold pieces around it. And I just thought that was so pretty, and I wanted to add that to my collection to use on different bags that I have. So I ordered one, not realizing that it wasn't the pochette Matisse strap. It ended up being one from a Pallas bag. And number 1, it was too short for what I needed. I didn't like where the little, I'm gonna call them rivets because I don't know the right word for them. I didn't like where the little gold rivets fell right here on my shoulder. I wanted them to be lower. And I also felt like that strap was a little more narrow than I wanted for my bags. There was just something about it that it just didn't work well enough that I carried it. So it ended up sitting in my closet for a long time. And because I never used it, I sold it. And I will not buy that particular strap again. I'm not sure I even want the pochette Matisse strap at this point because of that experience. But I'm not 100% against trying it out at some point. Number 2 on my list, this is an item that so many people buy and sell because it doesn't work for them. The Louis Vuitton Agenda in the PM size. And I have the same complaints about it that most people do. The rings are so small that they don't hold many pages. And even when you have pages in there and you don't even have it full, you can't turn them without the paper, like the edges of the paper inside the rings hitting each other. So it's just not easy to turn them at all. Now I have since heard that you can buy larger rings from third-party sellers, and there are videos about how to replace those rings and switch them out. So that would be helpful. But there were 2 more problems with the PM Agenda that I had. 1, it didn't lay flat. Actually 3 more problems. So it didn't lay flat. When I wanted to write on my desk or I'd hold it in my hand, it was just awkward. You had to kind of hold it open so it wouldn't close when you're trying to write on it. It's annoying. Also, ideally I wanted to have that agenda in my purse because I always have a little notebook in my handbags. But I found that it was really too bulky for that. I mean, if I have a big bag, it's fine, but I found that I prefer just having a small paperback notebook that doesn't take up so much space. And then the last problem with the notebook that I had is that I picked it in vernis, which is patent leather, instead of in the canvas. I've thought about trying the PM Agenda again and getting it in canvas. The reason the patent leather didn't work for me is I was too paranoid about getting color transfer and other problems with it, or getting it scratched. It was so pretty, and I got the vernis to be a little different because everybody has the canvas ones. But I think for something like that, that's a little workhorse piece if you really use it. The canvas is much more practical than patent leather. If you keep it on your desk, that's one thing, but when it's in a handbag getting moved about and stuck up against other items, I don't think patent is really the best material for that. The third item I would never buy again, I actually did buy again. It's the Louis Vuitton Facette charm, and here's what happened with that. The first one I purchased, I think this charm retails for $250, somewhere in that range, maybe $300, somewhere right around there. And I didn't want to pay that much for it. It's a ridiculous price for what this is. So I bought it pre-loved, and this was early on in my Louis Vuitton days. This was one of the first of the items that I bought before I became more particular and learned more about the brand. And with this item, I was more interested in saving money than I was in the condition of it. So I ended up paying, I want to say $200. I only saved about $50 on it. And I was happy with it when I first got it, but it had plating wear issues. It's a gold tone charm, but a lot of that gold had rubbed off and you could see the silver through it. And it was also fairly scratched up. That part didn't bother me so much, but seeing the silver through it did. And over time, I just stopped wearing it because of that. And I really wish that I had just spent the extra $50 and purchased the brand new item. So eventually that's what I did. I sold the first one I bought and I purchased it brand new. So with something like that, I would never again sacrifice condition to save a few dollars. That's a lesson that I learned. I would rather pay a little more for a better quality item, not just for keychains, but any luxury item. Doesn't have to be brand new. I'm not opposed to pre-loved, obviously, but it is worth it to wait a little longer, save a little more money, spend a little more for a better quality item, because a lot of these items you'll have for many, many years, maybe the rest of your life. So you want to get the best condition that you can afford. Item number 4 on my list is the Louis Vuitton Heart coin purse. This had 2 major issues. One of which was actually not that it was vernis. This item, I didn't mind at all that it was patent leather. I got it to be a bag charm. Wasn't really sure what, if anything, I would keep inside of it because I don't carry coins around with me. But the 2 reasons it didn't work out were, 1, I didn't know what to keep in it, so there was really no practicality to it. And 2, it didn't work as a bag charm because of the way that the chain was made. It's a long chain, and so if I just clip it to one end, it hangs too long and swings around. I did videos about this, I'll link it below. I just couldn't figure out a way to make it work as a bag charm, and that's what I bought it for. I didn't buy it to keep it inside my bags. So because I couldn't use it for the function that I purchased it for, I sold it. And I know better than to buy it again, even though they are quite beautiful. Item number 5 is the Louis Vuitton Sarah Compact Wallet. I have the Sarah full-size wallet, and I wanted to get a smaller wallet, and I thought, well, I love the Sarah full size so much, hey, I'll get the Sarah Compact. It's a very difficult item to find, by the way. I didn't even know it existed until I came across it on Yoogi's closet several years ago. But I didn't pay attention to the dimensions of it when I purchased it, and when I got it, it was much larger than I thought it would be. I didn't return it because I knew it was such a difficult item to find. I wanted to give it a chance, but I ended up not keeping it. I wanted a wallet that was about the size of cards, like my debit card. And this was just, I don't know, maybe 2 inches bigger than that. So I ended up feeling like there was a lot of wasted space. And for that reason, I sold it. Still thinking I'd like to get a zippy coin, but I've never been able to figure out which one I want. Do I want the basic monogram? Do I want one of the animations? Do I want empreinte? I don't know. That's why I don't have one yet. What do you think? The last 2 items on my list are handbags. Item number 6, I bet a lot of you can guess this, is the Louis Vuitton Trevi GM handbag. This was my dream bag. It was the first item that I purchased from Louis Vuitton. I purchased it pre-loved. It was a difficult decision to sell this bag because I love it so much, but one thing I learned about it over time and using it is that I love it in pictures, but I don't love it so much in real life. Here's why. I think it's one of the most beautiful bags that Louis Vuitton has ever made. I love the silhouette of it. I love the pleating. It's just gorgeous. However, when it comes to actually using the bag, it had quite a few problems. First, I don't know if this was all of them, but on my bag, the zipper was pretty stiff and it would stick some even if I put wax on it. That was annoying. It's a very heavy bag. Every single time I got that bag out of my closet, I felt like I was getting out a piece of luggage. It was not just heavy, but very sturdy. There was just something about it, the big chunky hardware on it. I don't know, it just felt like luggage. I also found that as large as that bag was, it's a pretty big bag, that the capacity inside wasn't as big as it appeared on the outside. The canvas on the outside was actually bigger than the lining, so it didn't hold as much as it looked like it would. And the opening for me was too small. And I found that it kept wanting to close and I could potentially scratch my items on that big chunky zipper. And then the last thing, this was my big complaint if you've watched my channel and seen the videos about the Trevi, is that it became misshapen. Because the inner lining is smaller than the exterior of the bag, you couldn't stuff it to keep its shape. Sitting on the shelf, the top of the bag was heavier than the bottom, so it would just sort of sink into itself. The bottom didn't have a lot of structure, whereas the top did. The bottom was just soft and it would sink, and over time the pleats become all misshapen, the sides become misshapen. Not the best look. And I tried everything and couldn't fix it. So for all of those reasons, those plethora of reasons, I did eventually, and still somewhat reluctantly, sell the Trevi GM. I haven't regretted it though. I've thought about trying the PM, but I keep reminding myself of these reasons. I know if the GM didn't work for me, the PM won't either. And finally, item number 7 from Louis Vuitton that I will never buy again. Another beautiful handbag, the Louis Vuitton Denim Pleaty. I looked for this bag for quite a while. It's so beautiful, and I found it in like brand new condition pretty much. But I figured out very quickly after purchasing this bag that it wasn't going to work for me. A lot of that just had to do with me. I didn't feel like it looked right on my frame. It comes with a little shoulder strap, and when I had that on my shoulder, it just looked too small for me. Plus my arm would cover most of the bag, which I didn't like. So I tried to figure out how to add a crossbody strap to it. I thought that would look a lot better, and I still think it would have, but it was so difficult to attach a crossbody strap. I couldn't figure out a way to do it that I really liked. So that was my main reason for selling that bag. But the last reason was I noticed functionally, it's such a soft, squishy bag, even with your things in it. And it has a buckle that you have to press in order to get it open. And you kind of have to press in to close it too. And I found that when I was out and about wearing the bag, that just didn't work very well. It was kind of fussy. It was difficult to get in and out of the bag. So that's why the Louis Vuitton Denim Pleaty did not work for me. I do wish it had though. It was gorgeous. What items from Louis Vuitton have not worked out for you? Or what items are you thinking about but you're not sure of because you're not sure that they'll work out for you? Leave that in the comments section and we can discuss. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.